This podcast is a part of Straight Up Strange Productions. Discover more shows like this one at straightupstrange.com.
Welcome to Folklore on the Rocks.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Logan, and I'm here with my good friend Madman.
Hello, I am Madman.
Yeah, this is still Folklore on the Rocks. Sorry we don't have Lindsay. She's, I'm afraid she's not feeling very well after her big glamping trip. But she did get some good pictures and share some good memories nonetheless. So I'm here with my buddy Madman, and let's get rolling. Now here we do have a featured drink. Unfortunately,
yum.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is, it's the middle of the daytime that we're recording, so we've had a couple of beers just to kind of laugh over old times. But, well, we can't really go in whole hog. And so I decided I'm going to jump on the opportunity of what exactly does it mean to have a drink outside of work? What does it mean to really cut loose? And
Please do tell me, Logan.
To me, that's jungle juice. Yeah, so I know it's a little bit of a cop-out to do a fantasy drink, but, well, it's a hot summer afternoon, and we're recording. We've had a couple drinks here at the office, but it is still midday, and we both wish we were at a pool party, so that's kind of what landed on, what is our fantasy drink? Jungle juice, for sure. Now, this is from the Tipsy Bartender website, who has been generous enough to post this, but this is something that is a recipe you can get very creative with. They recommend equal parts vodka, rum, gin, tequila, and blue curacao, and then a little bit more than an equal part of sweet and sour mix. Then a double ration of lemon lime soda, garnished with a bunch of lemon slices, lime slices, orange slices. I recommend pineapple chunks in there. If you freeze them first, then put them in there, then you can leave them in there for the drink. Oh, that sounds really nice right now. Anyway, we'll stick with the beers and the stories and get rolling. One of the big reasons that I decided to call on Madman to come help me out with today's show is last week we did talk about A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. I feel like my knowledge of it was far from comprehensive, but that's about where it should be for this point in the rehearsal. Anyway, Madman is also in the show. He is Madman. Who do you play in the show?
I play Nick Bottom the Weaver.
Ooh, a starring role. Yeah,
this is the best part of the show.
It's a really cool one. Yeah, and you do a great job in the scenes we've done so far.
Well, thank you.
It's been a fun show to put together.
I don't think we're on stage until like the very end of the show.
I know. We never get to hang out. We're always just watching each other from off stage, and that sounds like longing and a little gay, but no, we just have known each other a long time, and we do stupid things. Now, as far as stupid things on stage, we have done a lot of those over the years, haven't we?
Lord almighty.
Oh, yeah. See, one of the things that I remember, I first met Madman in like...
It was all the way back in, what?
It was our 8th grade English class, wasn't it?
Yes.
And
Mrs. Lake.
Yes, a dear gem of a woman. And she... I remember she called out your name as it appeared on the roll, and it was immediately corrected by you to, actually, ma'am, it's Madman. And
yes, ma'am.
Well,
she was the only teacher of that school who refused to call me Madman. The entire, because that was that class where like 60% of that class, just by chance, was like the theater department of East High School.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just kind of so happened.
So we were all
that it was
in
full
there,
of weirdos,
and
yeah.
she announces my name, and everyone's like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
Yeah, so, but at the same time, I'm like, well, that's either a self-applied moniker or it's well-earned. Time will tell. And, well, we've been friends ever since, so that was cool.
It's mostly because people have a hard time saying my last name.
Yeah.
Which is Madriaga.
Madriaga.
It's got condensed to Madman.
Yeah. It's been fun to have that little dash of you're Filipino.
Yeah.
Heritage, correct?
Britapino. My mother's British and my father's Filipino.
Ah, yeah.
I'm fun from both islands.
Yes, and a delightful shade of brown.
Oh, thank you.
But, yeah, it's been nice to have your little touch of culture added into good old white bread Utah.
the automatic token brown guy for all theater.
Yep. But he's my Madman buddy, and we are here to tell our tales. But, you know, it hasn't always been Logan and Madman. We played a lot of different roles, but also we've had to come up with different aliases
to cover our tracks from our shenanigans.
Yeah. Now, we won't say who is looking for these people. We encourage you not to Google them. Now, some of these are, let's see, if you ever hear of the the rambunctious duo of Ajax and Hatfield, then yep, you found us right here. Now, also, we were an unnamed duo in a play that we did a long time ago, and the problem is we didn't have any lines.
That's right. What play was that?
That was The Mask of Beauty and the Beast.
That's right.
And in that one, we were the Zani. We were these characters that were the scenery.
The grotesques.
The grotesques. That's right. So we didn't speak or have characters outside of what we just made up for ourselves.
I totally forgot about that.
And at the time, we were, I think, doing some lighting project, and so we named ourselves Gobo and Strobe.
Gobo and Strobe.
Yeah, and that is just too good. Too good to not carry over in years and years. And then the final set of names that you may have heard, if you've ever heard the dusty tales of the dark-hearted Boboro Malaxi and his shifty companion Shingles O'Hare, beware, those guys. They're not to be trifled with.
Can we talk about how those two even came about?
Oh, dude. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, we can. So that one. Was that the Midsummer Night's Dream we directed together? Oh, no.
That was for Ajax and Hatfield.
That was an Ajax and Hatfield
We can
production.
talk about that, too. That's a trip.
I mentioned it last week, and yeah, Madman was my directing partner in that version of Midsummer Night's Dream that we did. It was a fun show for the kids. They really had a good time. It was an after-school thing, and it had to be a musical because... Utah,
because it was Utah. Because our first play, remember, because of how it worked, the city of Murray at the time hired us to do an after-school theater program for the kids, which it was a lot of fun. But they gave us a giant lump sum of money in the very beginning. Yeah, and this is over like a 6-month project,
and we're like 19.
Yeah, it's like we were fresh into college.
Here you go. You want some money?
Here's some money. And then they tell us, whatever you don't spend on the shows, you get to keep.
Yeah, that's your pay. Yeah, there are all kinds of fun schemes in the theater world, and so we made the best of that one.
Yeah, we did. We decided to save money that we would write, because we had to go through. We did several schools.
Yeah,
and our first one.
So Midsummer Night's Dream, I remember was the second.
It was the second one. Yeah,
that was after we learned the lesson from the first teaching expedition adventure that we did, and that was so they give us a big pile of money. And at the time, I mean, it seemed so. We'll never spend all of this, so we had to put on a play for a bunch of kids. Well, to be in,
be in.
Yeah, so we had to direct
a group of kids between 5 to like 11.
Yeah, it was a handful, and they were fun kids. Yeah, they all had a good time, but. Oh,
their parents were super supportive.
Yeah, they were stage parents a little bit, but the grown,
what we put them through.
Yeah, I'm sure anybody who's listening to the story senses some pregnant pauses that there's something going on. Well, that's because remember how I mentioned that in Utah we do a lot of musicals.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this play that we were directing. We were never told it had to be a musical.
No,
it was. So we just wrote a really cool little play.
It was an adaptation of the Arabian Nights,
Scheherazade and the Arabian Nights.
Because we figured if we didn't have to buy a script, that's more money for us.
Remember the pile of money?
Pile of money. So we wrote a script, and then we took that money and we went to Toys R Us a few times.
Amazon wasn't a thing yet. It was eBay was though. There was some foolishness there, but much of it was directed back into the show in weird ways. But the problem is that then we got a call from our producer, who was a city employee,
right? And this we are like 3/4 of the way through the rehearsal process.
We think we're good. Yeah, we think we are right on target. And we are asked, "How's the musical going?"
Musical,
you say?
Apparently, when you work with children, it has to be a musical.
Has to be. You have to teach them to sing, regardless of one's own singing ability. So, Madman and I both looked at each other with completely I wouldn't say no musical training between us, but if there's any more than none, but not quite some, yeah, that's
us. Yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah, but we worked it out.
Neither one of us have had any real training in music.
Yeah,
but what we did have was a very large knowledge of video games.
Oh, yeah. Years and years spent in front of the TV screen with MIDI theme music playing on loop.
Old classic stuff.
And so
So, of course, when the question was asked that how's the musical going, it's going great!
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
oh, the kids love it.
Oh, they're having a great time. Yeah, and so... so with the video game music, we borrowed a couple of songs.
We borrowed a bunch of
ran
music.
them through a MIDI sequencer, changed all of the instruments, and changed around some keys. We learned how that worked.
Yeah.
And then wrote lyrics for it. So songs from like Chrono Trigger
and Legend of Mana. Oh, Secret of Mana.
Secret of Mana was definitely one.
And like Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah. I mean, we only picked from the best.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry, all the real artists out there. We didn't mean to.
No, not at all.
But nevertheless, we all survived. So,
and then we had to present this to the parents. So we walk up.
No, they're great, remember?
Yeah, they're great. They're doing great. So, parents, we have music. Our lyricists, Ajax and Hatfield.
Yes, that's where this story started, and that's where it finishes. Ajax and Hatfield, the unseen lyricists that we hired to write this music, and boy, they are late delivering, but they're gonna get us.
They're gonna get us the music,
and it's gonna be good. Yeah. So, Ajax and Hatfield, maybe wanted for copyright infringement. We'll see. But also, the real reason that I brought Madman here is not just to share goofy theater stories, but Madman, of all of my friends, has the most like real world experience with the paranormal, with the supernatural.
Oh my!
With the kind of the more fringe elements of the world. He lives a little bit further out from the very center. With a name like Madman.
That's true.
And so, yeah, I thought I'd bring him on in here to share some of his stories and insight about the investigations you've done. Now, it's mostly been ghosts.
It's mostly ghosts. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
for those of you who believe.
Yeah. If you're a believer. Otherwise, it's there was actually a discussion with my roommate this morning about the cabinet doors that I like to leave open, and I just blamed it all on a poltergeist. So. Yeah,
of course.
But Madman has a little bit more, let's say, authentic, real.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. It's experiences. Tell us, Madman, what do you think your first paranormal experience has been?
Well, I had a very unique childhood. I was born with something very rare. You could try Googling it. I haven't found much on it, which kind of.
Those are always the best conditions,
right?
The ones that no one knows anything about.
It's called prostaglandin ductus arteriosus.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now that's a powerful player on the Scrabble board.
And if any of you are familiar with regular ductus arteriosus, it's like one step further. So with ductus arteriosus, it's uncommon, but it's not super rare. Mm-hmm. It means that a layer of film of skin or membrane is still connecting your pulmonary valve. So you kind of have a wall there. Now, it's not hard to fix. Doctors will go in there after birth and just with a needle, they could poke that thing open.
And puncture the heart. So that it may not turn evil. Yeah, okay, cool.
But they still have working pulmonary valves. They're very lucky. I had the hyper version of that. I was not born with a pulmonary valve, period. Oh. So I did not have a pulmonary valve, and I had a giant hole in my left aorta.
Well, you seem to have done all right for yourself without
what
I thought were important parts of the heart.
They are, indeed. I went through many open-heart surgeries as a child. Yeah. It was quite a thing, but I survived. However, that said, my mom has wonderful stories of me talking to invisible people, of me hearing stories of talking to, like, I'd be sitting alone in a room having conversations with people that weren't there as a little child.
Yeah, it's unusual, not unheard of, but
I had a huge obsession, and I still do. I have a huge obsession with the Wizard of Oz. It was always my thing. And the weird thing about the Wizard of Oz is, if you do some research, children who have had near-death experiences come back with a love for the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
My mom did this research.
It's just a popular thing for those who come back.
The best that they could figure is that the Emerald City reminds us of what we saw on the other side.
Including the little man popping his head out of the door.
Yes. and then the horses of many color.
Yeah. Yeah. But, okay. Well, I look forward to maybe seeing the Emerald City one day. I keep hoping for Valhalla, but, well...
No, Valhalla would be cooler.
That would be cooler, but we'll see what happens. But, yeah, so Madman, it sounds like you have something of a more, I guess... personal connection with death and maybe what might be on the other side.
I came to terms with death at a very early age, which is a scary thing to do, even as an adult. When you sit there and when you think hard about it and realize you don't really know what happens next.
Oh, we have no idea.
You have no freaking idea.
Yeah. See, I the one thing that I can go on as fact is, to our knowledge, it's good enough that no one's come back and complained.
Yeah. to our knowledge,
yeah,
like physically come back.
I don't know, but if it was truly that terrible, we are a driven species to go against the laws of nature.
That is very true.
We would find a way, where it's like you get through and you're like, life so cool, death not as cool.
Not as cool. That's how the zombie apocalypse starts.
Yeah, and it's it seems like it would be, if it's really any all that bad, there would be a lot of people trying to fight back to get back here. But then again, maybe that's what ghosts really are. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah. So ghosts, I actually don't have a ton of personal experience
really?
with ghosts. I know that they are they're ubiquitous around the whole world.
Yes.
It just the idea of a spirit of something or someone that was just alive,
right?
With some, usually has unfinished business or some kind of energy tethering it to this world, preventing it from passing over. Is that a pretty good general summation of?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes they're Patrick Swayze, sometimes they aren't. So ghosts. You, unlike, I guess, me, I've had kind of a passive attitude toward. I don't go looking for trouble in the supernatural.
Meanwhile, Madman's like, I'm not just knocking on that door. I'm kicking it open.
Yeah, I move like a thunderstorm, but I try to just kind of stay in my lane. And but Madman, oh no,
there are no lanes.
Yeah,
where I go, there are no roads.
Yeah. So you've actually done some investigations and some.
I have. No, I want to preface. We've had a few beers.
A few beers? Yeah, beers.
Beers. Sure.
That jungle juice is sounding real good right now.
It does. Preface. I've lost my train of thought.
You're going to preface something.
Thank you.
There you go.
I was going to preface this that I am in no way. I'm not a scholar. I am not a.
You're street smart, not book smart in the ways of it. In D&D terms, there are the wizards that have spent their time researching the arcane.
And then there are the sorcerers.
And then there are the sorcerers that have it coming to them because of one reason or another. Okay, so is that a fair analogy?
Yes. Okay. I don't have any degrees. Well, I've got a basic degree.
Hey,
yeah,
that counts for something.
Photography. I didn't do anything with it.
I have no clue how a camera even works. So you got me one up there. That's not accurate, but
I spent 4 years in college, and that's what I could come out with.
Yeah. So okay, but. It's not about what you don't have, but what you do have is a lot of really good experiences.
Yeah.
And really, what are some of the standout things that you've run into? Or is there a common theme that you've encountered? I know that some of this is personal, folks. So Madman may not share every little detail,
right?
But we appreciate him sharing anything at all,
and especially with the paranormal. experiences are very subjective. Mm-hmm. So how I see things and how I experience things is not how you or anyone else would experience.
Everyone brings their own
world of
schema
ghosts.
and expectation, and there's a lot of factors that go into it.
But no, I have in fact been declared dead at least 5 times in my life, 2 of which have been on the operating table. The other times have all been me doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
I've drowned. I've fallen off of things. I've fallen off a lot of things.
Yeah, you have.
I sure have. Like every stage I've been on.
Yeah, like I tend to fall off stuff. I tend to jump off stuff. But you got me beat for falling off stuff.
I fall off.
Yeah.
You name it, I'll fall off it.
And sometimes die. But don't worry, he'll be back.
No, I'll be back.
Yeah.
If it's one thing I've learned, I'll be back.
Yeah. So, so tell us, how about this? What are some of the techniques that you have used to investigate supernatural events? Do you usually look more for people or energy, or?
It would be very energy oriented. Mm-hmm. I don't work with. Let's start with this. With the very concept of death. I, for one, haven't had many conversations with other people who have died, let alone someone who's been dead and back 5 times.
Yeah. You seem to have a little more experience.
But there is a process to it. And the whole light at the end of the tunnel thing, it's happened. It's happened a few times. When you pass through at the point of death, at least how I experience it, it's very weightless. I know that I'm slipping into the next world when I stop feeling my body, and I no longer need. Oh God, it's so hard to explain.
Well, I think I can kind of understand what you're saying. Having a physical body is under a lot of constant stress, where you have gravity pulling on you, you have to breathe, you have a pulse.
Exactly, it's super freeing.
And then to not have all of those elements at once, I'm sure it's like you've just suddenly stepped out of a very loud room into a quiet.
Yes. Oh, okay. Perfect. That's a great way to say it.
Cool.
But I've 100% had the out of body experience where I'm floating above and I could see myself, at the bottom of the canyon I just fell down, or floating in the pool that I fell into. I've certainly had those experiences, and every time I come back, I feel like I take a little bit with me.
Now, just so I understand, you take a little bit is taken from you over, and you leave something there, or you bring something back here with you.
I feel like I bring something back.
Cool.
Yeah. Wow. I don't think I've really talked about this to anyone, let alone
to
everyone, to the internet. Hello.
Yeah,
this is my life.
This on poor Madman
I'm a weirdo.
Here. Yeah, but at the same time, we're all weirdos.
That's good.
Anyone who claims to be normal is both, boring and lying at the same time. Is usually what I say.
What's a good thing? Oh, it's like have you ever stuck your finger in a socket?
Sure have.
Yeah, I get a feeling like that when I walk through doorways. So imagine the feeling of electricity running over your skin, like static. The hairs on your arms and on the back of your neck, and you'll get goose pimples. Mm-hmm. When I walk through doors and when I enter, it doesn't really matter. I could be walking through a field. Things like that will spike. It'll spike through my body. I'll know something's there when I feel it on my skin.
Okay. Now, is it anything like with temperature, for example? Human beings, we can't really detect specific temperatures, but we can detect changes.
Right.
We can suddenly feel it when a cold wind blows on a hot day or something like that. Mm-hmm. Even when that cold wind is still, in the high 70s, it's a contrast that we pick up on. And is it anything like that? I'm just trying to find some point of reference as well, whatever I am.
Whatever you are. Yeah, I guess you could kind of say that. It's like, like the feeling of the air right before the storm hits. If you're watching a thunderhead roll into the valley.
Yeah.
And
the
you
pressure
have that
suddenly drops.
Exactly.
The air gets colder, which I'm pretty sure is exactly dialogue taken from Ben Affleck's Daredevil. But that little clip.
I try to forget that Daredevil.
Yeah. Although the director's cut, not the worst movie I've
Really?
ever seen. Yeah, they had a vision. It didn't make it to the theaters.
No, it didn't.
But that's irrelevant beyond compare right now. But yeah, that the feeling of suddenly a change in the energy in the electricity. We have a lot more senses than just 5.
Oh, absolutely.
This is known, but well, quantifying and naming them and turning them into more than just a spider sense tingling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tall order sometimes. I'm always reminded of what is it? Well, I've only seen the movie, but I'm sure it's a pretty good book too. Contact. When she gets to the other side, and her only sentiment is they should have sent a poet. Our ability to articulate and describe
and process what's happening around us.
Limited sometimes.
Yeah,
and that's what I so much like about this kind of stuff in other languages, because people give names to things that often don't have names in English.
Yeah.
So yeah. Another tangent. I don't mean to.
No, that's perfectly
fine. What I like sometimes, but. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. It seems like you've got kind of a cool history with investigating ghosts, and you're talking kind of the energy shifts and the changes. Now, the only time that I've ever felt anything like this is in the theater.
Oh, theater.
Yeah, and to me, I write it off as an energy exchange that is incomplete. The theater is built for actors to make the audience feel something,
right,
and to walk out on a stage when no audience there's a vacuum there, and it feels it makes one hyper aware and very sensitive to just the kind of energy of the world. I kind of feel like if anyone Googles theater ghosts, you'll find that every theater
this is a thing, and any
haunted.
Any drama person will tell you
haunted.
Every theater haunted.
Yep.
Bottom line.
Yep. Maybe somebody said Macbeth. Maybe some stagehand fell in the ropes. Maybe some. There's all kinds of
fell off stage, which is why we have ghost lights.
Yeah. It's so I've never really had firsthand experience with any theater ghosts. I've only heard stories, and
which is so crazy because our high school was haunted as hell.
Yeah. And I was just there.
You were just there.
I was living life too hard to be concerned with death.
Meanwhile, I'm all alone up in the rafters. Hello.
Yeah, you're just Mr. Spirit Antenna over there.
So we can we say the name of the school?
Sure.
We can. We both went to East High School.
Yeah, y'all saw High School Musical.
High School Musical.
That one. One thing I do know about that high school is that it is a very old high school.
It is.
Like a lot of schools throughout America, it was built, right when the state was founded, and has gone through a number of upgrades and renovations, but it still has a number of very old sections to it. So, what were some of the hauntings and ghosts going on? Just the standouts. I know that our listeners, I'm sure everyone's got a small lower class, especially if they've ever spent some time in a theater. Everyone's heard a ghost story.
Yeah.
But this dude's named Madman. He's got the real ghost stories. So what have you got?
Okay. Well, let's start with East High.
East High School. Yeah. So as I said, it's got some older parts to it. It was built in 1913 is 1913 what is documented for
correct. And then the building was
renovated. And added, and it grew a whole lot. Once in 1997, then once again for the actual filming of High School Musical.
Correct.
So yeah, that's the history of the high school. But how to get a ghost in there?
So, legend has it, when they renovated in 1997, they took the entire building down except for one section, and that section, of course, was the theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course they don't update it, and they have to leave it as spooky and haunted as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
story goes that during the time of these renovations, there was a homeless man living in the rafters. And there had been some sort of fire, or he wasn't paying attention and he fell because half the school was missing. Either way, a homeless man died, but he had made his home in the rafters of the old auditorium. Now, the East High Theater students will know we call this entity Topper because he lives in the top of the rafters. And Topper is a noisy ghost. And I have had several encounters with Topper. First and foremost, the best story is during it was a dance recital.
Okay, so a dance, a recital of these dance classes, but they're rehearsing to do a performance. Okay, and
it was me and our mutual friend Tyler, and we were going to be running spots. We're running the spotlights all the way up in the rafters, and I go up there. I put on my headset. I'm climbing now to get to the spotlights. You had to crawl across this thin metal walkway. This metal grate. I use my hands and my microphone goes back and forth.
Podcasting is a very visual medium. I have a lot of really great space work and pantomime skill that I apply to this little project. Yeah.
Anyway, you have to crawl in the darkness across this skinny metal grate for about, a good 30, 40 feet before you go down a few set of metal stairs, and now you're in the booth with the spotlight that hangs over the theater.
Yeah. It's inaccessible on purpose. By some standards, I'm sure you should be cabled in or something, but nevertheless, upsy-doo. And
so, I'm up there. I'm getting prepped. I know Tyler has his microphone on because we both got them at the same time, but I went up first. And I'm turning on the lights, and I hear in the background, ding, 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 because, like I said, it's a rickety metal grate. 100 feet? It feels like 100 feet above the ground.
It's forever high off the ground that if you fall, you're dead.
You're dead.
Yeah, it's high enough that your brain just checks out.
High school theater.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hear Tyler coming, right? So I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. So I hide around the corner, and I take my shirt off because I'm weird like that. I'm going to scare Tyler. And I'm waiting, and I'm hearing the footsteps.
Yeah, like any rational person.
Like any rational person.
I better take off my shirt and prepare to scare him.
This is theater. I best get naked.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
So I'm sitting, I've squeezed myself in a corner with my shirt off. I'm hearing Tyler go, he's getting closer. Ding, 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 ding. And the time he gets to where it's safe, where he has something to hold on to, so I'm not going to scare him and scare him to his death. I jump around the corner. Whoa! And no one's there. Not a soul there. I just start screaming into the darkness that is the East High rafters.
Oh, see.
Meanwhile, footsteps from behind me now. Ding, 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 ding. Down into the booth where I came from.
So the direction that there is no exit, there's nobody there, but you hear as if something moved past you or through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So then I get on the mic. Hey, Tyler, where are you? And he was still downstairs messing with the soundboard. Mm-hmm. And he says, I'm still down here. Why are you screaming? Oh, no reason at all.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly alone up here.
At which point the hairs on the back of your neck all stood up, which was easy because you still weren't wearing a shirt.
Oh yeah, no, I ran across that grate. I climbed all the way down, still without my shirt, just panting.
Yeah, and it sounds terrifying. Just that feeling of compounded dread, where it's already a scary thing. You're already up high. You're trying to be careful. You're working by yourself.
And it's funny because I love that stuff now. I eat it up. But back then in high school, it still scared the shit out of me. I'm still getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, cool. And really, that's like a good, one example. But I would say, would you agree that again, most theaters have some degree of
yes,
hauntedness.
Absolutely.
Whether it's just a weird vibe in there, maybe it's props going missing. Maybe somebody said Macbeth at the wrong time. It's.
Do you remember the old theater we did? We did a few shows up in that old Bountiful Theater.
Oh yeah. So this was a different city.
This is a different city, north of Salt Lake, and it was an old community theater, and it was built in an old jail.
Mm-hmm.
The upstairs was They turned into a local art museum, and downstage was this nice little black box theater. But we stored all of our stuff in jail cells because they still existed. It used to be a jail.
Yeah, you have to have some kind of divider, and what are you going to do? Not use them?
And for a while, I was part of the board of directors for this theater, so I had a key to the building.
Madman is the responsible one, in case you hadn't guessed.
Lies, madness, and lies.
But yeah, you made it onto the board. So I don't think I ever had anything too weird go down up there. It was
dude.
Really?
Yeah.
There's worthy of a dude. I'm very excited to hear what you've got.
I don't know if I told you this story. So we had just finished The Secret Garden, and we were going to do Pirates of Penzance or something like that.
I was in that.
Yeah,
one.
this was a show that broke my. So I was clearing the. This was before we decided to build the outdoor theater. So I was clearing the stage for the downstairs theater, and it was me and our friend Chris, who also went to high school with us.
See, here in Utah, it's a place where people sometimes stick around.
Yeah,
it's weird, but it's also been nice to have friends that go back as far as some of the friendships that I've really gained in this weird place.
We've known each other for 12 years now,
at least,
maybe longer. Lord Almighty.
Yeah, we're old men. All right, so
what happened?
So yeah, what happened up at that theater,
dude? Okay, so I was moving props. We had 2 spaces to store our stuff. We had the jail cells, and then right outside, across the lawn, was the old, bountiful indoor pool. Now, this thing it was built in the 1900s. It was closed.
Yeah.
But the city let us use it as a place to store extra props, and that's also where we built our scenery.
I remember.
Do you remember that place?
I've done a lot of time in the now. It's
a parking lot
down?
now. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a big dry indoor swimming pool.
That place was so scary. I've got multiple stories about it.
And at no point was it ever, at least while we were there, used for recreation or exercise or anything like that.
Oh no!
No, it was used for
this giant.
It was actually a scientist lab.
It was very dangerous. They really shouldn't have let us be in there.
Oh no! It was
this big open end.
Sure.
Like the deep end was like 25 feet, so you could just go walking and then drop 25 feet to your doom or something like.
And
maybe
you might
more.
starve.
Maybe it might have been 40.
Just
it had a diving board, so it had to be
city.
It went pretty deep.
Yep. But yeah, so okay, anything spooky or otherworldly happened there?
So we were moving props. We had decided there was some sort. They were preparing for some sort of parade. Chris and I were the only ones who could do this over a night, so we agreed to do it.
So you're working there overnight?
So we're working there overnight. This is from the span of about 5:00 p.m. to about 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And all we're doing is taking stuff from the theater downstairs, up across the lawn, into the pool house.
A move-in storage operation. Okay.
Now, the pool house is littered with props. It's just full of junk. And there's no organization because this is a community theater.
Yeah, exactly.
They just litter the place with
reveling in chaos. That's what it really is.
So we had spent a good hour or two organizing bookshelves, old telephones, costumes of all kinds, just so we'd have a path to walk through the pool house to store things. As the night is going, in the theater, we started hearing noises upstairs in the art museum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, we should be the only ones here. Maybe we left the door open. So we walk upstairs. Nothing. While we're upstairs, there's music playing downstairs. We had our cell phones, so nothing, like, we had been playing music, but, through our phones. We had them on us, so there shouldn't be anything. And we just left from downstairs. So then we haul ass back downstairs. Nothing.
Did the music stop?
Music stopped.
Okay.
So we thought,
I don't suppose you recall what style or song it was.
It sounded like damn Yankees.
Okay.
Those damn Yankees. You remember that show?
Oh, you mean the musical?
The musical Damn
Yankees,
Yankees.
Not the band Damn Yankees. Okay. Weird. Could have been the devil.
Yep, sure could have.
Or Lola. So
Mr. Applegate.
Yeah, so the so it all the music cut, and was that just the end of the spookiness, or was that just the beginning?
That was the beginning. So now we're a little creeped out. We pick up a box or two, and we're walking across the field. And as we're getting closer to the pool house, I have that old feeling again, the electricity running over my skin, the goosebumps. And we get to the pool. About this time, this was at least 3:45 in the morning. This is early, because we're fools.
Yeah, because time means nothing when you're doing something stupid like this.
Especially when you're still in college.
Sure.
We open up the door and walk in. Now, our path that I had mentioned earlier, that we had spent 2 hours clearing, there was a bookshelf now sitting right in the middle of our path that we had made. We didn't move the bookshelf, but there it was. It was standing there where it shouldn't be. That was weird.
That reminds me of the drawers of index cards and Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Okay. The stacking of the books. And
good
everything.
Old Ghostbusters. So that was creepy as hell, because when you turn around the corner, you ran into this thing. It should not have been there.
Yes. All of a sudden, there is the bookshelf.
There's a bookshelf. Shit. So we ran the hell out of there. Went back towards the theater. The lights are on in the building. We didn't turn the lights on, but they're on now. We get close to the building. They turn off.
And so you're plunged into darkness through no control of your own.
We hadn't even made it to the building yet. We're standing there, and for a good 10 minutes, it was as if someone was playing with the light switch. We watched it go on, and then back off, and then on, and then back off. And that's when we locked up the building and left. Because
fuck this noise, we're out.
Exactly.
Well, cool. Well, it is a super hot summer day, and even that is giving me just a little bit of spine-tingling chills, Madman. That's spooky stuff you got there.
It was crazy.
Well, thanks for sharing that one with us. So real quick, let's take a little break, and let's go check out our promo for this week. This one's called The Woods. Now, for our listeners out there, usually Lindsay does a super cool little synopsis of these because, well, little secret, I only sometimes listen to the other podcasts. I know I'm the very worst. I have to make this one, and so I only sometimes have time to listen to the podcasts. I do love me some This Is Where the Magic Happens in Harmontown, but the Woods I have not listened to.
We were told The Woods.
Hey there, I'm Shazne.
And I'm Sandy.
And we are The Woods.
A weekly podcast where we discuss anything spooky, unexplainable, and just plain bizarre.
So please, come take a walk with us, because you never know what you're going to find in the woods.
I'm sure it's an excellent podcast. It's probably better than this one. Anyway. At least this particular episode.
At least this episode. I 100% guarantee you have better episodes than anything that's coming out of my face.
Oh, well. But, Madman, on that note, you have, not the weirdness of your face, but on the woods.
It is a pretty weird face.
In general. You've spent a fair amount of time in the woods.
I have.
You are, among my friends, one of the more outdoorsy ones. Both in the rugged wilderness style, where it's just defending for oneself, but also you actually worked in one of the local scout camps for a number of years, too.
I have. I am an Eagle Scout. But no, I worked for the Great Salt Lake Council for 5 years of my young life, staffing Boy Scout camps.
I was not up to code to get the Eagle Scout. Do you want to know why?
What'd you do?
I was deemed not reverent.
What?
Yeah. Scout is clean and reverent, and, well, I got most of them.
A scout is trustworthy,
loyal,
helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. So they got you on reverence?
Yeah, the irreverent Logan.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. How many times have you met a boy of 11 and he has met all those requirements?
Oh, well, yeah, that wasn't me, though.
Anyway.
Yeah. So it's okay. Yeah. You were a Boy Scout leader, and also you worked at the Scout camp.
Yes, I did.
Now, typically working around young people, there's a weird energy. There's a lot of stories going around. They have a somewhat casual relationship with fantasy and the truth, and so I get.
And we all like telling campfire stories and
so stories from camp, you take them with a grain of salt, but at the same time, some stories can be serious business. We all heard about Camp Crystal Lake.
Oh yes.
Or the mysterious happenings at the the cabin in the woods. There's
confession, I've never seen that movie.
Really?
No,
it's super good.
I hear it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a Joss Whedon one, isn't it?
I think so.
It's got Fran Kranz in there.
He was like
such a fun name to say.
He was fresh off the Avengers, I think.
Yeah, he had just finished Dollhouse. Well, he had.
Oh, that's another one I didn't watch.
His work with Dollhouse. Dollhouse didn't ever finish, and I'm holding a point against the universe for that. But we digress. We were talking about camp.
Yes.
Yeah. So camp, I know I did my own share of go up to camp for the weekend or go get those merit badge, big push kind of things. And you were on the other side. You were the organizer of it all.
Yeah.
And you saw the goings on, after all the kids went home for the summer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now I was up at Camp Tracy, which is up Mill Creek Canyon, here in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah, we gave up on anonymity because we're lazy.
Yes,
bad at it.
We are lazy and bad.
And I just complain way too much about Utah to be
another theme throughout our lives.
The other day I did a murder mystery, and I just at random decided that I was from Boise, Idaho.
That's what you did?
Yep. Where it's like I just.
Wait, were you the one who died?
Yeah, no, I did die. Yes, I was killed that night. But
take that, Boise.
I've never been to Boise on purpose.
I'm sure it's fine,
and yeah, I'm sure it's just great.
Love you, Boise.
Yeah, and keep of our listeners from Boise, thanks for tuning in. But the reason I picked it is because no one will ask any questions about that. No one wants to know anything.
No one wants to know.
No one cares.
That's better than the bullshit I did the last time I was in a murder mystery.
Oh yeah.
I told them I put on a really bad Brooklyn accent, and I had told them
you okay.
Right.
You're committing.
I'm committing to something ridiculous. My story was we were doing an adaptation of Shakespeare, The Two Lovers That Kill Themselves. Romeo and Juliet.
I know that one.
Lord Almighty.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're doing an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, and it was still like a murder mystery type thing. So we were doing a play within a play. So we had our actor characters, quote, and then those actor characters were the ones playing Romeo and Juliet. And I had decided one night that I was Bobro Maloxi. Oh. I called myself Robert, though. Robert Maloxi.
Robert Maloxi. Okay.
So
another alias.
Bob Maloxi, who was from Brooklyn, but had played Eeyore at Disneyland for 2 years and was now working his way back home across America and got picked up by this theater company.
Gig by gig?
Gig by gig. That's my ridiculous story.
That's a good one.
Then I ended up having to spend hours BSing how things worked behind the scenes in Disneyland. I did pretty good.
Oh, yeah? Did you mention the basketball court in the Matterhorn?
Yeah, the basketball court in the Matterhorn. The amount of trash we all have to throw away.
The phantom moose head in
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Left over from the Country Bear Jam?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. But yeah. That's
all the hidden Mickeys across.
That's all I know about our new corporate overlords that own all American culture, Disney. Yeah,
it's true. They own my entire childhood.
I know,
like
right?
all of it.
I didn't realize it could be bought and sold, but
there it is.
All right,
they've got Marvel and Star Wars and Muppets, and that's me.
They got the damn Muppets. Although I saw the Muppet show at Disneyland. It's great.
Is it?
It's awesome.
Good.
They're doing a great job with the Muppets. Don't worry about it.
No, they're fine.
Disney's got the Muppets under control. Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. So I think we are pretty much at our hour here. Madman,
So that we
was-
didn't tell one camp story. Oh well.
Oh well, let's we can double back.
That's all right. I think it's funnier this way. Excuse me. I think it's funnier this way.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
I can come back and tell it later.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So we are at our hour there. I guess we don't have time to get to any of the specific camp stories, but I'm sure you've got a lot of good ones, Madman. If you ever want to come back,
Absolutely.
we'll give you a chance to prepare some.
I'll be far more prepared if I come back another time.
You brought with you your wit and charm, which is a gift
I
to
brought
us all.
a beer, and that's it. That's what I brought.
Yeah. Well, so as we kind of wrap up here, is there any kind of thing that you would like to just kind of I present to you an audience of the world, Madman. Is there anything that they should understand?
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, about the supernatural, about the otherworldly, the unknown, the unseen, or the unknowable? What could you share with them? All right, Madman, they're all yours.
All right, universe. Number 1. Always carry fresh batteries.
Ooh, words of wisdom right there.
For your cameras, for your recording devices.
Yeah, I've been trying to
and your
consolidate
flashlights.
Everything to just one big lithium-ion rechargeable
Yeah,
system.
those are great.
Yeah, I'm doing away with other disposable batteries. If I can get everything to one interchangeable unit, I'll be good. I'm not there yet, but that's the dream. Okay, so spare batteries. What else you got?
If someone asks if you are a god, you say yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Madman.
Thank you, universe.
Yeah. Wow, that was profound, Madman.
You're welcome, Logan.
I don't think I'll ever be the same. All right. Well, so we are Folklore on the Rocks. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Lindsay usually does all of these closing notes, but I'll do my best to remember them. Let's see. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Folklore on the Rocks. On Twitter, I know this part. On Twitter at Folklore Rocks. And
just like that.
Yep. You gotta have
Folklore
Rocks. Yay! Yeah, it's so yeah. And I did finally get some progress made on the videos I'm making for our Patreon. We've got Patreon followers who are so generous and have been promised cool videos for months.
Oh yeah, hey, they exist. At least one does.
I got started on them. I got started in my yeah. So
I've seen them with my eyes.
They do exist, kind of. So to all of our Patreon followers, thank you so much for following us and supporting us. It's really a very kind thing to do, and I will get you something in return for it. Lindsay usually does a great job of making sure that everyone gets their voice heard and feels appreciated, and I get to just be part of that. But this is my time to step up and just say thank you to anybody. Oh, and also to anybody who leaves us a review on iTunes. Boy, we've gotten some really nice reviews. I had the chance to walk through some of them with Madman.
Yeah, they're great.
Our show
you guys are very kind.
Yeah, the people who have left us reviews. It's so fun that we are a show that reaches so many different kinds of people from different backgrounds. I like to think that some of my stories are a little bit situated on just the experience of Utah or theater or whatever weird crap I've done. But if anybody likes it, maybe they just listen for Lindsay. That's
probably it.
Yeah.
I've never met her, but she sounds fantastic.
She's
I hope you get
delightful.
well, Lindsay.
Yeah.
I know you're going to hear my voice.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Let's go ahead and perch it right there. Lindsay, feel better, darling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody out there, send Lindsay some good vibes. We'll bring her back when she's feeling up to it. But I wanted to make sure that we had something for you folks to listen to. Something out of us, just to let you know we're still here.
I'm
still thinking
sorry.
about you. Oh, no apologies necessary. I want to thank Madman again for joining us.
That has been absolutely my pleasure.
Yeah. Really, it's been a real treat to
It's
have.
been super fun. I've never been on a podcast.
Well, now you can stop saying that.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great week. We'll talk
Good
to you
night.
soon. Bye.